This is for Kerbin. Today we're going to be sending a Kerbal to a flyby of the moon, as well as the Kerbal space program has gotten a brand new flag. It's been nicknamed Blue. Grabbing contracts for lunar experimentation, as well as the contract for Minmus has been provided. In today's main mission, the Kerbals desire to send a Kerbal farther than any Kerbal has ever gone, to the Mun. The Kerbal will orbit the Mun, collect scientific data, and then come home, and the data will be recovered. This should push enough technology to send a full lunar mission. But the Kerbal kind realizes the launch pad is not nearly powerful enough to hold the amount of rocket that this will require. So they are going to need to complete some other part testing contracts before they are able to even launch the rocket. The Kerbal space program will end up being as broke as it has ever been. As the rocket is being constructed, they look at all the ways that they could gather some money through the different contracts and through any methods necessary. They hoped that this would all be able to be resolved as well as dealt with. As the rocket's construction continues, an aeroshell is put around the main stage of the rocket to help protect it from exit heating. That didn't sound right, but we're gonna go with it. As well as 4 peripherally mounted side boosters, though this would prove unnecessary and 2 would have been fine. The rocket has way more delta V than required and will not end up using all of this. It will be equipped with 2 mystery goo units and every other scientific data, as well as cameras and the Science Junior. This will bring enough scientific data to hopefully bring a manned mission to the Mun. The cameras will also photograph the surface as they plan to do orbital surveys to see what the best landing sites are. A launch pad is also constructed using side hold downs as well as a crew tower to ensure the crew are able to actually get on the rocket. Arms are put on the side. The launch pad is ready. However, the main launch complex is not prepared to hold this amount of weight. So, the solution? Well, the solution is upgrade it. However, this would cost a lot of money, and a lot of money the Kerbal Space Program didn't have, at least to also continue the mission. So, they would need to accept some additional contracts before the moon to hopefully gather enough funds to deal with it. The crew arm is extended out to the side hatch of the capsule, as well as an additional arm as well as the crew arm has been added. It is a derived version of the shuttle arm proposed and launchpad proposed by Gene Kerbin. The Kerbal Space Agency plans to use this crew arm as well as any other means necessary. The launchpad was not fit, however, it was not fit for the height of the rocket. So, the launchpad was upgraded for the last time. However, this would cause many problems. They had part testing contracts that they would need to complete. So they roll a heat shield out to the launch pad and run the tests that needed to be conducted. This would gather some funds, but other funding would need to be done by gathering scientific data from around the Kerbal Space Center for an unknown company. It's not known why they want this. All that is known is that they do want it. Contracts are being handed out like Legos to the Kerbal Space Agency, as well as missions to gather lunar rocks. These will be completed upon the first crewed mission to the Mud. But we are a long ways from that. Currently we need to focus on gathering scientific data so that we can even attempt it. The next mission will hopefully be an impactor probe, hopefully able to gain some scientific data before it crashes into the Mud. Now, this is a very risky maneuver, but a lander will be, as well as a lander will be provided. The entire point of it will be to hopefully add a buffer zone between two, well, missions. A crewed mission and a mission that the Kerbal Space Center wanted to do all along. Colonize the Mud. Colonization is an important thing to the Kerbal race. So if this mission is unsuccessful, it is very unlikely that the space program will be able to continue. They are requiring that a ton of scientific data be scientific equipment be attached to a vehicle, so that they are able to gather the experimentation required. However, there would not be enough money for this. As well as when I was building this, I didn't entirely know what a target scan was. So, yeah, there's going to be a quick cut here so that I can figure out what a target scan is. There we go. So target scan turns out is with that little camera there, which you scan another vessel. Very simple. Unfortunately, the Kerbal race does not have enough money to build the science car. Things will need to be altered. Engines are put on to help drive it, but nothing seems to work. So they concede and just build a drone. It is very sad that a Kerbal will not be able to conduct the scientific experiments themselves because, well, the space program is too poor. This was an all-time low for them. But hopefully, after these missions, they should be able to complete what their original mission was. To put a Kerbal to orbit the Mun. However, an interesting discovery was made. An interesting discovery that is yet to be confirmed, which will hopefully be confirmed in next episode. Hint, it's just the Outer Planets pack. I'm trying to get it to work with Copernicus Bleeding Edge. There are problems. There's being problems, so yeah, that's what's going to be added is the Outer Planets pack. I don't have any other mods and additional mods. Oh, and a community Delta V map, because I have Kronkus and Helvika, I think is how you pronounce it. So the Delta V map I currently have up on my wall is insufficient. Which, if you don't know, I do actually have a Delta V map up on the wall beside where I play my games. I have the normal Delta V map, which unfortunately I can't use when playing with the Outer Planets pack because Elu's orbit is significantly different. Elu's its own standalone planet in the base game. However, in the Outer Planets pack, it is the moon of Cernus. So, yeah, that was a problem, but it will be fixed. Got a little buggy here. I didn't record the construction of it because it really doesn't matter what's on it. This is just meant to complete the targeted scan. No other reason, I'm going to be honest here. And we'll just wait. It's a bit boring. the footage is sped up, but it's still boring. As well as the launch of the upcoming rocket there'll be a cool pan-up shot of the rocket taking off. And once I land on the Mun, I'll also get a cool shot of landing on the Mun. Those aren't actually shots that were taken at the time. It'll just be shots that I found, or not found. The shots will be a quick save, and I will load that quick save and then set the camera tools up, and yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, we're gonna continue on our experimentation of the Kerbal Space Center. I really don't know what I'm doing with this series. I don't know if it's part roleplay. I'm trying to be like cool announcer history thing, but it just does as it will do. Yeah. We're gonna continue on here. Moving away over to the launch pad, which I believe is our final destination. Yes, the launch pad is the final destination, in which we will do a seismic scan and a gravity scan. Just looking at the little contract window there. Cover it, and we gained a lot of. We got some funds. We don't have enough funds yet, so we're doing one. Or apparently we do. We do have enough funds. Never mind. We're just gonna fix this little arm here because it's a little broken, but that's all right. And turns out I forgot a communications dish, so we're just gonna revert flight, as well as I'm bringing Bob Kerbin along because Bob is better. Also, I had this because I'm bringing Bob along. I had to add the little control module so that I have SAS. Yeah, just ignore that, as well as RCS thrusters. Here we are, prepared on the launch pad to take off. Fade transition shortly. The arm retracts. As the camera shakes, we are able to witness the launch of Mooner 2. First ever crewed flight to the moon. The rocket's a bit difficult to control, I'm going to be honest, and that's just because those side boosters aren't connected with struts. I don't have that technology yet, so just be careful when you're building it yourself. Anyway, we're going to keep launching up. Hopefully. Create a little maneuver node there. Point towards it. Ditch the arrow shell. The only reason why I'm using the 1.28 meter version is because for some reason the 1 meter version doesn't work. As soon as I get the 1 meter payload, I'm going to use it, but I don't know. It's weird. So as we can see, the beauty of Real Plume. That is from Real Plume right there, the little plume effects. Anyway, there'll also be. I also think I have a cool shot of me orbiting the Mun, if I can remember correctly. Can't remember anything else. As you can see, we got our periapsis there. We're gonna do we're gonna circularize our orbit. I thought, why not? As well as I add the reaction control system because the reaction wheels on here are not powerful enough by any means. There's a couple other upgrades I'm gonna need to do, like to my R&D building and my astronaut complex, so that we can take surface samples and stuff. It's this whole whack load of stuff I have to do before I can actually do a crewed mission to the Mun's surface properly, like the one that I want to do in this series. So I think I'll end up sending a probe to the Mooner's surface, and then probably one to Minmus. Just so I can get that Explore Minmus contract and get, I think it's like 300,000 extra funds. Like it's a ridiculous amount. But we're gonna start our burn. As Bob Kerbin sits inside of his tiny command pod. It has enough supplies for him to get there and back. Don't worry. They ran simulations. And besides, it works in human spaceflight simulator. Or sorry, human space program. I think that's their version of Kerbal Space Program. It gets multiple layers thick, you know. what's that quote? Besides, it works in Kerbal Space Program. I'm gonna say that if I ever get a job at NASA. Besides, it works in Kerbal Space Program, and that will be funny. No, it won't be. People are gonna get mad at me. I was originally just gonna go to the Sphere of Influence's edge until I realized how incredibly much Delta V I have. Also got a little EVA report from the grasslands, because apparently that was part of one of my contracts. So, just had to get my little contract, or part of the contract complete. I'll end up sending a plane there or something. I'm not great at designing planes, so it's going to take me a bit, but whatever. It'll take as long as it takes. I don't know how long that'll be. Could be days, could be weeks, hell, it could be years. Probably not years. It's probably going to be until I need a contract complete. Until the probably next episode. In fact, as this video is uploading and you're watching it, I'm probably testing it out. As well as in my last episode of Kerbin, I said that I was going to have a good microphone. Unfortunately, my Blue Yeti Nano is still coming. It has, you know what a Blue Yeti sounds like. It sounds exactly the same. It's just a bit smaller and about $40 cheaper. So you can see why I got it. Plus it was on sale on Black Friday. Got a deal. It's coming from BC, British Columbia, Canada. I think exactly Vancouver. It should be here in a couple days. In fact, it might even be here by the end of the week. Which would be wonderful. But this week's videos, as in the week that this video comes out, needs to be done last week, as in the week that it currently is for me. In fact, it is currently December 2nd for me. Yes, I pre-record these videos because I have school and I don't have time to record them the day of and edit them and upload them, and it's a pain in the ass to do. So I just pre-record them a week in advance. So that is how it goes, unfortunately. As well as I'll probably, if I notice an echo with my Blue Yeti, I'll put up some acoustic foam panels. I know where I'll put them because I have a lot of open wall. I also have a lot of furniture, and by a lot of furniture, I mean my big desk, which in reality isn't that big, but it's my room's pretty small. So the furniture I have. Oh, there's a cool little shot of it orbiting, passing by. It's quite a nice shot. Anyway, we're gonna time warp around. I don't know what's going on here. Well, I think I'm pointing it towards the lunar surface because I thought it'd be kind of cool if I caught pictures. Kerbal Space Agency, they'd probably want pictures of the lunar surface in both infrared and visual, in both. I think it's ultraviolet light and visual. Boy, what am I saying here? In both ultraviolet light and visible light. Yeah. So, we're just gonna time warp around. Currently focused on the moon. Don't worry, that'll change. Also, originally I was gonna get some cool re-entry shots, but I ended up deciding against it, and my computer is getting a bit loud. Should probably check that. Anyway, we're just gonna cut until I start re-entering the atmosphere, because why not? You can see me kind of looking at camera tools there, holding on to this bottom stage as long as I can. No particular reason. I just thought I was gonna use it for deceleration, but turns out I'm going way too fast for that. And I think do I end up detaching from them? No, I don't, because right. I planned for one air braking pass because I planned for one air braking pass in terms of the supplies that Bill has, but that's as many supplies as he has, but I was hoping that I'd be able to just slow myself down with engine burning and the atmosphere. Also, we're landing on the dark side. I'm sorry. Well, it's not my fault. And now for the boring process of waiting for our spacecraft to parachute down. We're using 4 drogue chutes, 4 jetwing parachutes, and 1 parachute that I think you're supposed to put on the Mark 1 command pod. Also, you might see that I start talking really loud, and that's to try to cover up my parents having a party in the background. Today was the only day I had to record this commentary. All other days I'm going to be doing stuff, as well as a little problem with the command pod. Bill's gonna hop out, or Bob's gonna hop out and jump off. And then time warp so that the pod stops, and then we're gonna recover Bill. Then we're gonna cover the command pod. Right here. And then we'll pick up our technology nodes with our, 700 units of science? Yeah, 711 units of science. That is ridiculous. But this will be able to get us the MUN mission that I want. So we're getting flight control and then small command modules, because I want to use the Mark 1 command pod. Getting more rocketry, general construction, fuel lines, propulsion, the whole shebang. Fuel systems, no structural stuff yet. We're also getting life support, space exploration, and that is it, I believe. Thank you for watching.